So the Jamaican dollar could have bought one bread. And you know, like I go to a corner shop, I can only buy half a bread now. And a big jilla oil.
Yo, you can
understand?
buy per slice now, bro.
You understand? And that is the dollar.
Yeah,
that is as a function
yeah.
of the dollar. So things get more expensive as we go along.
Welcome to Financial Fitness, JA. I'm Julio Dawkins.
And I'm Jade Harrison.
Today we'll be talking about foreign exchange. Now, Jade, as a banker, what is foreign exchange?
Well, I'm going to quickly bring it to local perspective. US dollars. Take it to the personal level. Will it be making sense for you to save in US and the businesses in US in Jamaica? Yes, it does, because unfortunately, Jamaica does not export anything per se. And as a result, we are highly dependent on US dollars for importing. So the Jamaican dollar is constantly devaluing.
Yeah.
So it is one way of maintaining your purchasing power.
Right.
So if you're able to save in US, you're able to fight inflation, you're able to get the revaluation gains of the US dollar, and you're able to invest in this one of the safest currencies in the world. So,
But Jade,
yes.
hold on. What is inflation?
Inflation is the loss in value or purchasing power of the local currency from our perspective. So the Jamaican dollar could have bought one bread. And you know, like I go to a corner shop, I can only buy half a bread now. And a big jilla oil.
Yo, you can buy per slice now, bro.
You understand? And that is the dollar.
Yeah,
that is as a function of the dollar. So things get more expensive as we go along, and as Jamaica keeps importing and have very few exports. Things have improved over the most recent years. But the reality is that the US dollar is still the significant polar value in Jamaica.
So I buy that loaf of bread, so like for $100. But then in the next 2 years, I have to pay $150.
Or $200.
Or $200.
Yeah,
So okay, so that is inflation.
But so the reality is that the best thing to do, one of the best things to do in Jamaica is to save in US. It probably doesn't sound like the best thing for the country, but it's what is done. A lot of the banks deposits in US dollars are people's long-term savings.
Right.
So even if you're not saving in US, investing in US, meaning taking the US dollars and probably buying some stocks, or there are even US dollar denominated stocks on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Right.
So what you'll find is people always finding ways to incorporate the US dollar in their transactions. There are other currencies, because you make reference to foreign currencies. There are people who do euro transactions and pound and CAD, but these are mainly business persons. So what you find is that most people function in terms of US dollars. So if you, for example, I have a strategy where I look to invest in US dollars, not just save. So I convert my dollar, the Jamaican dollar, to US dollars and then invest in a foreign stock. Very few of the brokers allow it out here. There are like two, if I recall properly, two brokers who allow you to do that. But that is like getting the gains of the stock market, the US stock market, international exposure, and then getting the gains from the US dollar. So when the Jamaican dollar devalue, at the end of the year, you might find that currently the dollar is like 142 or 143 right now.
Right.
And you might find that by the end of the year, I don't know, hopefully not 150, but then I would have benefited from that because of my savings in US dollars. So the best thing you can do is for yourself, as an individual, is probably saving US dollars, even though you do have, because the relative, over the long term, Jamaica has had a consistently devaluing dollar. And that's just the facts.
So hold on, just to understand. So you're saying when we go out and earn, with the way we earn, we must set aside a portion of our savings in US dollars?
You could do that, but I think the best thing for me to do is not put all your savings, because you have to have liquidity in your own currency.
Right.
But the majority of your savings
must be in US dollars.
It would be the most prudent thing, and it provide the most return.
Right.
Unfortunate to say, because that doesn't sit well for the country and economics and the dollar of our local currency. But the reality is that that's probably where you get the most returns. So
okay, so we're advising that the viewers look into foreign exchange to keep their network intact, their savings in US dollars will also appreciate in value in relative to the home currency.
Exactly.
And it would allow us a better purchasing power parity in the future.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So what you're trying to do is make sure that your dollar is able to buy what it used to buy and possibly more.
More.
So when you convert it back, sometimes the conversion rate will pull you back down though. So like it cannot be a very short-term approach. It has to be that you're saving the dollar and you're going to keep it for like 2 years and then you convert it back, you might get some value then. But if you were to actually just save the dollar upfront and by next week you want to sell about the US dollar and then take the money, it's not going to work out for you because the spread that banks take don't allow you to do that. So yes, it's a strategy that you can use, but it has to be something like a medium to long term. So you save your money, you put it in something, you give it some time, some real time, and then you get the benefits of that. What you can see now, especially for businesses, is that they have to be doing, because Jamaica is such an import strong economy.
Oriented. Yeah.
You realize that they have to do things in US dollars. They actually even price their profits. So them calculate their profits in US dollars. So they are not going to look and say, oh, we made 1 billion Jamaican dollars. If it don't add up in US dollars, because they always do some kind of version of a US dollar balance sheet, then they don't count as any real profit in terms of how they see themselves acting as an international organization or a distributor, because they're going to have to source back their goods in US dollars again. So they are constantly managing their exposure, their FX exposure. So businesses do have to do a lot of US dollar transactions, and because of the whole distribution centers that exist out here, and we are always having to import and they're always having to source overseas. The US dollar is just an indelible part of Jamaican society because we don't really have much of a choice. So yeah, it's a good place to put your money in the medium to long term.
So let's say I am a 27-year-old worker and I say I earn $60,000, net for the month. How do I take a portion of that money and go to save into US dollars or pounds or whatever?
First of all, like any other type of savings, you gotta be saving some percentage of your income. So you have to save 20%. We save the 20%, and we decide that we're going to invest in US dollars. You simply just take a 20%, you go to a Cambio, and you buy the US dollars.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah, so you go to a Cambio, you buy the US dollars, you go and you lodge the cash. Try not to lodge. If you're lodging over a certain amount of cash, there are bank charges associated with that. So you're going to try and probably buy your cash and then lodge it back.
And pointing out, people, when you lodge $500 US dollars or more, you're charged a fee.
So that's the system trying to avoid cash. The system is not very big on cash transactions and people. And then there's also the reality that you actually get a better rate on cash than you get on actual checks. So that's kind of a weird thing coming out because they keep the cash in circulation in the local economy. So because it's more costly for banks to manage cash. But the reality is that there's no way you're going to end up worse off dealing with US dollars.
So I go to the Cambo, buy the US dollars, lodge it in my savings account, and do that every month.
Yeah, you can do that every month for like a year or 2 years. It doesn't matter, because even from my own personal experience, when I bought some US some time ago at 98.50. And you see where dollar is now. Dollar's at 143. So it doesn't take a lot of intelligence or intellectual vigor to figure out that the dollar is going to devalue. Hopefully not too fast so that the rest of the economy can stay on firm footing. But you're going to benefit from the dollar devaluing.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Financial Fitness JA.
Share it. People need to hear this stuff.
Share it, like it, subscribe it. Subscribe, my friends. Subscribe.
Because I have some really, really top-notch stuff coming.
More coming. And Jade, what do we do?
We do this.
We do this, my friend.
We do this.
All the time, my friend. All right, bye guys.